Are you a manager that struggles to give valuable, actionable feedback to your employees? Or do you receive feedback that you don't find to be very valuable or actionable and you're not really sure what to do with it? Well, today I'm going to talk about the two main things to consider when either giving actionable feedback or receiving feedback in order to make it actionable that you can use to kind of help you get to the goals that you have set for yourself or that your employees need your help with. My name's Milan, and in the 30 years I spent working my way to senior level in a Fortune 100 company, I've given my fair share of feedback throughout the years, and I've received some feedback as well that I will have to admit hasn't always been actionable or valuable to me. But what I've learned through all that time is that it's a false belief that all the feedback you get will be actionable, even from senior people. Because the first step in giving actionable feedback or being able to determine what feedback will be valuable to you is not really about providing the feedback. It's about understanding what your goals are and ensuring that your manager is aligned with what your goals are. Because if you think about feedback, you can give feedback in a wide variety of areas that may not actually provide you any insights to what you have to do next. So for the purposes of this discussion, I'm going to focus in on a very common scenario that comes to me, which is I want to get promoted to the next ladder level. Now, that's a great goal. And if I'm aligned with my employee on that goal, it really kind of helps me understand how I need to tailor the feedback in order to meet that goal. Now, in another video, I talk about the different seasons of a career, which is spring, summer, fall, and winter. And people's goals will change over time. So it's not always about promotion. But in this case, it's just easier to talk about it. So while the first step is understanding what the goal is, as a manager or even as an employee, my next responsibility for the second thing I have to worry about is, okay, how does that goal meet in the larger organization in terms of expectations? What does it take in this expectation area for my organization, which could be different than different parts of the company, for what it means to get promoted to, say, senior level? So I have a manager who you have to understand, whether it's as a manager for your employee or as an IC or an individual contributor where you're looking to try to get promoted, what in terms of promotion to the next level does the management expect? And so while I won't talk about the specifics of what it means to go figure that out, I cover that in other videos. But in order to give really good feedback, you have to understand both sides of the equation. And for the example that I use, which is getting promoted to the next ladder level, let's say the individual is great with operational implementation. Whereas as an executor, you give them a task, even if it's a big cross-group task, they can go figure out how to get that done, bring the right people in, and move to a positive result with return on investment. But as a senior leader, knowing this individual and knowing them and where they want to go, which is to the next senior level, if they have not shown the ability, which my management team expects for promotion to senior level, of being able to do strategic planning, strategic identification of risks or places for you can revenue growth or savings, then that has to be a piece of feedback that person receives in order to go execute it to build the full picture out for their goal, which is getting promotion to senior level, which is both operational execution excellence, meaning getting the job done, and also on the strategic side of really understanding where your business is, where the opportunities are, developing a plan, and then obviously moving into execution. So in that scenario, the feedback I would give that individual is, you haven't really shown, which is what I know the senior leaders are going to look for a senior promotion, that you've come up with some great new areas for improvement for the organization. You've done the research and analysis. You've built the right business case the way they expect it. And then obviously you move it to your other area that you do really well, which is executing it. So you need both of those to get promoted. So notice that the feedback wasn't really tailored on their actions to date, but was built within the confines of their goal and the understanding of what it takes to meet that goal in this organization. And so without those two areas really understood by you as the manager or even as an individual contributor, it's going to be really difficult for you to give great feedback, or when you receive that feedback of you need to communicate better, how do you dissect that and then tailor it to where your gaps are, or use it with your manager on having a great conversation about what it is specifically that you need to go do to meet that goal that you've talked about. I hope this has been helpful, and if so, I'd appreciate a like, and if you hit the bell, you'll get notification of other topics as they're released. So best of luck and have a great day.